Men absolutely have more options than women when it comes to dating. So I saw a TikTok on here from another creator talking about how there are plenty of beautiful women everywhere, but coming across a very handsome man is really rare.
Stop looking at yourself as the beauty standard. You are not the beauty standard. We are all equally beautiful. I remember I used to look at people and be like, "Ooh, that person, they might not be the most." Or if somebody made me upset, I'll be like, "Oh, girl, you're not even on my level." Like,
Let me show you how to reply to a comment, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Just because you're a woman does not make you likable. To be honest, there's a lot of rude, mean, selfish, low vibrational, no pinky toenail energy having women out there, and the women are sick of them too. We starting to notice we just not blind. I'm not going to automatically just like you because you're a woman.
50-50 is not about the money. It's more so like the man is the provider as far as the mortgage, the big bills, and I might buy all the groceries. I am in TJ Maxxon, you know what I'm saying? Making this house look like a home. That's my 50% that I bring, because as a man, you can't really bring what I bring. You can't make this house a home like I can.
Why we be so attracted to hood dudes? Like, I just say, oh, the people that's attracted to hood dudes is the ones that had no daddy. I feel like some of y'all that had daddies was like that too. But anyways, I didn't know that, but I'm not saying that's my reason. I don't know. It's something about a hood dude. Well, first of all, there's two different types of hood dudes, and my definition might be different than yours. But the main reason I wanted one, because they give me a sense of protection.
House cleaning before we get started. For those who are rocking with me from day one, I appreciate the support. For those who may be new here, coming in or out the door, for your boy, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Every bit of your engagement absolutely helps promote me into the YouTube algorithm. I thank y'all for the support. Now let's get to it. Drop the video. Let's go.
Men absolutely have more options than women when it comes to dating. So I saw a TikTok on here from another creator talking about how there are plenty of beautiful women everywhere, but coming across a very handsome man is really rare. And I could not agree any more with that creator. I come across beautiful women every single day, not only just online, but also in real life. However, coming across a very attractive man probably once every 8 months. And I know looks are not everything, but attraction is what catches the eye first before you get to know someone. And not only just about looks, right? Not only do I come across beautiful women every day, these women are established and doing very well for themselves. However, I just feel like coming across a man that not only looks good, but is doing well for himself financially and is emotionally intelligent is very, very rare. Hence why I say men have more options when it comes to quality women than women have in terms of quality men.
Yeah, I see why she struggles with dating and relationships now. She somehow, like a lot of average looking women, who she is, or slightly below it, some may argue, drink this Kool-Aid where they believe all of them are 10s, highly valuable and desirable, when that's just not the truth. I have a question. What determines a woman's value? What determines a woman's sexual market value? And what determines if a woman is actually good for a relationship? Who determines that? Other women? So here's the problem with the way y'all see things. A lot of y'all can tout each other and pat each other on the back and say, you're a beautiful girl, you're a catch. You have all the makings of a good woman, and any man should be oh so lucky to have you. What are the men saying? What are the consumers saying about you? Because see, it's one thing for you to sit up on a shelf with other products that are like you, and y'all all goad each other on that y'all these great products and y'all are killing it and the market needs you. But if you all just sit on the shelf and collect dust, the market has spoken, and the market doesn't see the value that you see. The reason that you see more beautiful women than you see attractive men is because you're all in a state of delusion, believing that all of y'all are something that y'all are not. Attractive. And I see why now you had problems a year or so ago when you were making those asinine ass videos. I see why you have problems, because you believe you're more attractive than you actually are. And you're getting the reality of what it is that you are. Average.
All right, so I recently made a TikTok about not getting approached by men any longer, and several people, actually a couple thousand people, left comments, a lot of men, and I really appreciate y'all comments. And a lot of the comments coming from the men were saying that they stopped approaching women because us as women said that we don't want to be approached anymore. And I want to know which women y'all heard this from. I want to know. I think I've seen in the past maybe women saying they don't want to be approached at the gym. But other than that, I feel like most women would prefer to be approached in person as opposed to like online on an app or something. I don't know. That's what I think. That's how I feel.
Stop trying to be what you're not, that girl, because men have decided for you that you're in fact not her.
Stop looking at yourself as the beauty standard. You are not the beauty standard. We are all equally beautiful. I remember I used to look at people and be like, "Ooh, that person, they might not be the most." Or if somebody made me upset, I'll be like, "Oh, girl, you're not even on my level." Like, that is so evil. And that is such a Jezebel spirit in full form. And society teaches us to be like that. These beauty standards, this pretty privilege that y'all keep on trying to push. No. I remember when I used to work at Hooters, and it was all based on looks. We were told that if you aren't beautiful, if you aren't pretty, you can't work here. You can't sit with us. I remember a girl came in asking for a job, and my manager was like, she don't even look the part. And now when I think about that, it just hurts me so much, because there will be times where I would look and be like, I mean, she's not an ugly girl, but, you know, I can see what they're talking about. Like, do y'all know how evil that is? We have to flee from sin, guys.
This was all over the place. She went from beauty standards to sin and evil. I don't know what this was. This was a weird take. Let me say this. If a person like myself wanted to enter a bodybuilding competition, and I didn't train, I didn't work out, I didn't compete, I didn't get my body, my physique in shape to be a part of that competition, most people, 99.9% of people, will look at me and say, "You're crazy, you're insane. You don't belong there." Same concept for a woman actively walking into a Hooters, wanting to work there, and don't meet the criteria that they set, their standard for their servers and the people, in particular, the women that they want to be the face of Hooters. That's not unreasonable. You showed up to Hooters ill prepared, just like if I showed up to a bodybuilding competition ill prepared. I don't belong there. And to somehow link beauty standards to evil, it's a bit of a stretch. Depends on the context. Like if you're bullying someone because they don't meet a beauty standard, sure, absolutely. I would say that would be a bit of, I won't go so far as say evil. I would say negative, derogatory. You may be a bully, sure. I don't know if I can necessarily link that to evil unless you give me further context. I think beauty standards are just what they are, a standard of beauty. Not everyone is going to meet a standard of beauty because not all of us are blessed with genetics that make us beautiful or pretty or attractive. That's just the reality of the world we live in. And to scrutinize beauty standards from a perspective of biblical evil, I think is a bit absurd. And I don't know where she was trying to go with this, but the plane didn't land, the door didn't shut, and the lights were not on. It didn't make sense, ma'am. And I hate to be the one to tell you this. You were all over the place and you sounded kind of stupid.
Let me show you how to reply to a comment, and I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Just because you're a woman does not make you likable. To be honest, there's a lot of rude, mean, selfish, low vibrational, no pinky toenail energy having women out there. And the women are sick of them too. We starting to notice we just not blind. I'm not going to automatically just like you because you're a woman, but shout out to the real smart, intelligent, emotionally regulated women that are mature and grow. There's a lot of them out there, and they're sick of the mess too. They always say a hit dog will holler, so I hope you're not hollering because you got hit. If it don't apply, let it fly. But, let's just be honest. We already established that, there's a lot of no good men out there. And we know the opposite. I don't even have to say that. But if you look at the title of the video, it just says men benefit the least from marriage. Not that they don't benefit at all. And in the perfect world, if you get you a great woman, you're winning. You're winning. But that's neither here nor there. But the truth, you made the truth come out. We don't like all y'all.
Look, let me say this. Do I think there are some men who just don't like women? Sure. There are men who are misogynistic. The problem isn't men don't like women, that y'all are hearing all these men voicing their opinions about women nowadays. The problem is some women are insufferable. Some women are selfish, self-centered, thrive in solipsism, and quite frankly are unpleasant, unkind, and not nice people to be around. And a lot of times, women grow up not hearing the truth of reality. You're not a likable person. And men, for the most part, because they're trying to get relations from women, will tolerate a lot from an attractive woman or a decently or reasonable attractive woman. They'll tolerate a lot. And at some point, men have got to stop tolerating nonsense from women simply because you want to bed them down. I think a lot of times the harsh reality of you sucking misses a lot of women. They don't hear that they are the problem and that you're insufferable. You're not a kind, likable person. For the most point, or the most part, a lot of women just don't hear realities of who they truly are when someone is not trying to get in between their legs, i.e. men. They don't hear from women either because women refuse to hold each other accountable and say the tough things to one another because they believe that their pseudo-empathy or their pseudo-sympathy that they have for one another, because it's not real sympathy or empathy, it's putting on airs just to be accepted in social groups. You got to stop lying to one another. Y'all have got to start telling each other the truth. Girl, you're not a likable person. Men, start telling women the truth. You're not a good person. Stop feigning that these women are not who they say they are. They are not good people. They are not good people of character, morals, and values. A lot of them are just attractive women who y'all want to bed down.
50-50 is not about the money. It's more so like the man is the provider as far as the mortgage, the big bills, and I might buy all the groceries. I am in TJ Maxxon, you know what I'm saying? Making this house look like a home. That's my 50% that I bring, because as a man, you can't really bring what I bring. You can't make this house a home like I can. We out of deodorant and toothpaste, mess around with you. I got everything else covered. You covered the big things, and I'll be up under that umbrella.
Nonsense. I've never heard such nonsense in my life. Look, women are always edging or hedging their bets to come out on top. They want to benefit the most from any interaction they have with men, any relationship they have with men. They want to benefit the most because they see themselves as possessing something inherently valuable that they're born with. Cat. So since women believe that their vagina hedges all bets in their favor, they're going to keep trying to rewrite egalitarianism. They're going to not want it to be what it is. 50-50 means half to make a whole. It doesn't mean you pay all the big things and I buy toothpaste and deodorant and make a house a home. No, that's not what egalitarianism looks like. If you want a man to be a financial steward of your household, say that. That's not 50-50, ma'am. That's traditionalism. Y'all want to skirt and circle around traditionalism so bad and so much that y'all are constantly trying to rewrite the rules because you don't like patriarchy and you don't like traditionalism. The reason you don't like patriarchy, you do like it actually. You like the parts of it that benefit women. You just don't like the parts that benefit men. You know, the traditionalism outlook from women, the things that are expected of women in the confines of traditionalism, you don't like those parts. You still like the protection, providing, and provisioning. You just don't like the parts that men benefit when you're contained within traditionalism. And y'all can keep trying to rewrite 50-50 as much as you like. It's still half and half. That means everything is split down the middle evenly. That's what 50-50 relationships looks like, not this nonsense you said. What you're looking for is a relationship skewed and mired in traditionalism, but with a modern twist to it that you don't have to perform under the guise of traditionalism, but the man still does. It's a bad deal. I said it before, and I'll say it again. A fair trade is no robbery. What y'all are doing is walking out with the whole damn bank vault. It's robbery. End of story.
Why we be so attracted to hood dudes? Like, I just say, oh, the people that's attracted to hood dudes is the ones that had no daddy. I feel like some of y'all that had daddies was like that too. But anyways, I didn't have no dad, but I'm not saying that's my reason. I don't know. It's something about a hood dude. Well, first of all, there's two different types of hood dudes, and my definition might be different than yours. But the main reason I wanted one because they give me a sense of protection. I thought they did. I thought they was like giving protective, and I feel like as somebody, maybe this is right, as somebody that didn't have a dad, I always craved like that protectiveness that's supposed to naturally come from a dad, but I didn't have that. So, I always wanted somebody that was gonna be very masculine. I think I looked for somebody that's hood dudes. Is what I considered toxic masculinity. She got the zoomies. I'm gonna kick her ass out. That's what I would consider like toxic masculinity. Like, those are perfect examples of that. Like, but it gave real masculine to me. So I wasn't catching on the fact that it was really fake. But I always thought like, a hood dude gonna protect me, and they will, but it's so much more than just protecting. But let's talk about the two different types of hood dudes before we get too deep. The type of hood dude that I was talking about, I was referring to a hood dude that's like from the hood, knows stuff about the hood, but that's not necessarily in the streets. That's not necessarily still passing out dime bags and all that stuff. That's not necessarily toting that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was referring to. But last year I had a run-in with a real YN, just a Mexican YN. You know what I'm saying? And he was very much in the streets. And that's the type that I want to steer clear from. I want the type that just, might have grew up in the hood, might have dibbled and dabbled in the streets. Obviously, that's what comes with the territory, but they ain't in that. They know it's more to life than that. But yeah, I think I obviously was still talking to him because I wasn't sensing danger. It was a bunch of red flags. Not only was he a liar, but it was just so many red flags with his lifestyle. And I was like, But I think I read way too much Wattpad. Way too much Wattpad. We're gonna start there. And then I think for a minute, my definition of hood dude, I was like, okay, yeah, he not that. Well, when I first started talking to him, I didn't know he was that deep. That man is in jail right now. I didn't know he was that deep in the streets as he was. I thought he was just like, a little hood Mexican. He been there, done that, he trying to do better. That's not how it was. But I don't know. I always thought this was for protection. And part of me is like, I feel like they're more attractive to me. I don't know. I don't know why I feel like they're more attractive. Like, it just be so fun. It'd be the chains. It'd be the way that they talk, the way that they dress, the way that they walk.
That is a whole lot of Havana Cadabra she got on her face to store. Stop. First of all, you like those type of guys because those guys are dysfunctional and so are you. By the way, she's not even FBA. I think she's first generation African or Nigerian, I believe. It's been a while since I've had her video. She's not even foundational Black American talking about hood dudes. First of all, ma'am, what's your culture? Like, what are the men you like from your culture? What do they look like? Why do y'all come over here, blend in with us, talk about us after you blend in with us, say we don't have culture, but emulate every facet of our culture, negative facets of our culture? Like, y'all always gravitate to the most negative aspects of who we are. I don't see you trying to emulate classy Black women. I don't see you trying to emulate Black women who have gotten their things together, who are traditional, who are conservative. No, you want to emulate the negative aspects of us and get on here making this stupid ass content about why are you attracted to hood dudes or hood ninjas? You're attracted to them because you're dysfunctional. The same reason so many other women are attracted to those guys. You said it yourself. You believe that was the true form of masculinity. because you were raised without a father. Surprise, surprise, women who grow up not with their fathers, not raised by their fathers, always gravitate to the most toxic forms of masculinity. I find that so shocking. See, this is the point I always make where I say the breakup of the family was the most detrimental thing ever done to the black community outside of chattel slavery. Because once you destroy the family, all values, all standards, all rational, pragmatic, logical dynamics of living life go out the window. And what you're left with is all these negative things that everyone gravitate to and hold in such high regard as if it's some badge of honor to be attracted to deviants and degenerates. It's not. It makes you look stupid. It makes you look low value, low vibrational. And it also speaks volumes to a person who can be an outsider, come in here, absorb our culture, the negative parts of our culture, and project that, but then you'll be quick to say, oh, well, black Americans are the problem. Then why are you emulating the negative aspects of us? Why not say, hey, I'm first generation. I see the negativity. I don't want to condone or advocate for, deny, or uplift. I just want us as a people, since you're trying to blend in with us and speak like us and look like us, to be upstanding citizens, to have intact families, to strive for a community based in rational values of morals and proper outlooks without glorifying ratchetness and hood culture and hood ninjas and strippers and bad bees and dots and bops. Why not project that onto our people? I get what you were doing. You're trying to say why I used to be attracted to these guys, but why were you attracted to these type of men in the first place? Because you were raised without a father and your mother failed you. See, here's the problem that a lot of y'all don't want to address. Her mother failed her. And the reason her mother failed her, because her mother refused to provide her with an adequate representation of masculinity. That's why her mother failed her, because her mother didn't do her job. Ensure she was raised in a 2-parent household so she can grow up to be functional and not dysfunctional. That's all I got, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, get it cracking in the comments. I'll see y'all in the credits. 2 fingers. Peace. I'm out here. Catch y'all on the next one. Like Jesus.
You think that what we're fighting about is stupid. Just cause you don't agree don't mean it's stupid. Lately communication feels so useless. If we don't got that obsessive love, then what are we doing? I don't ask for much from you. It's like you don't got the time to lose. Make me feel like I'm a burden when I tell you